Last night, Georgia Tech looks like, oh man, tough loss. No, we're taking this thing a little bonus basketball because that's what Clemson and Georgia Tech always seem to do in Little John. Last year it was a double overtime thriller. Last night, a triple overtime affair. Georgia Tech pulls off the win. They go back to back with quad one wins. Really wild game. 23 lead changes, 14 ties, and working on about less sleep than I normally get. Probably about 5 minutes worth coming down I-85. Damon Stoudamire joins us. Coach, first of all, congrats on not only the win last night, but also the way your kids played against Louisville on Saturday. That second half effort, putting up half 100 against another really good team. I know it's been a wild year with all the injuries and stuff. I want to get back to that game last night. I kidded around with you that during the break. I said, my wife said, I'm going to go to bed. Are you going to come sleep? I said, no, I'm going to watch the end of this game. Of course, it was about midway through the second half. And about 2 hours later, we finally turned the television off. I mean, that was bonk. I thought the game last year was nuts when you were down 9 with 1:40 and you came back and won in double overtime. But that game last night was unbelievable. That was an amazing effort by your team.
Yeah, no, the fellas played really hard. They executed, down the stretch, and it was one of them games. We lost another body. JV got injured early, and but the guys just kept fighting. They persevered, played to the end. Duncan, being Duncan, he takes the shot, he fouls his rebound, and it's what an effort, to get the game to overtime, and then the things that we did, I was just proud of. I thought we did a really good job on both ends of the floor, executed on offense, made plays defensively when we needed them.
There's no question about that. And how about the fact you had four guys play over 49 minutes? George plays all 55 minutes. We gave him the Jay Billis Holly Farms play of the game. I mean, in your lifetime, right? Again, you've been around the block a few times. You played in some humongous games on both the college and pro level. 55 stinking minutes now. I
Yeah,
hope you didn't
yeah.
take those kids and say, "Listen, we're going to practice today at 4 in the afternoon." I mean, and what? Give me the mindset of what those guys. I mean, it was such a great win. Then I'm sure
Right.
at some point in time they had to hit the wall driving back on that bus last night on 95.
Well, I know they did. It's been a different year for us with all the injuries. So a lot of times the things that we do in practice are minimal. So we gotta, I always tell the guys, I need your minds more than I need your bodies right
Hmm.
now. You gotta lock in. So mentally we're approaching this thing the right way. But not only with Nate, but with Lance, with Bai, Soiree, Duncan, guys are really locked in, and they're taking care of their bodies. I told them last night, we won't really get after it again until Friday. We'll talk. We talk today. Tomorrow we'll get the game plan ready for Virginia. Friday we'll walk through, we'll go over some things, but the biggest thing is that I think mentally our guys are locked in, and they've done a great job since the Notre Dame game. Uh, at Notre Dame, when we lost that game, that was for me the first time I seen this team hurt this year. Because they felt they controlled the game, and they felt like they didn't do a good job. And it's one thing for a coach to feel a certain type of way, but it's another thing for the player to feel that way as well. And I seen that, and we've been getting payback the last couple games.
Coach, what's it say about this team, though, of the we're not going to quit? I mean, listen, with all the injuries, you've had 8 different lineups. I mean, it's been that way, really, it seems like from day one. But what does it say about this team that the last two times you've rolled it out and we're playing for keeps? You beat a Louisville team that had won 10 straight and playing great basketball. You beat a Clemson team on the road that had won 6 or 7 in a row. I mean, you beat two damn good teams. And you know
Yeah.
what? If you didn't know anything about records or anything else, and you just turned on the tube on Saturday, or you just turned on the game last night, you go, man, that Georgia Tech team looks like a top 20 team. What's it say about these guys and their want to be successful?
It says a lot about their mindset. It says a lot about their character, and a lot about their resolve, because they could have easily quit on the year. No one has done that. They're fighting. They're playing as hard as they can, giving all the effort each and every day. But the biggest thing that I would say for me in this group is over the course of the last 2 weeks, they're talking things out. They're trying to figure out what they need to do on both ends of the floor. They're making suggestions in our shoot around. What are we going to do defensively? Coach, these are things that we feel like will work offensively. And so I think the maturity of this group has taken over. And I think that they've grown as the seasons went on. And I've been saying this. Maybe I'm the naive coach. I feel like we're capable of beating anybody, even with the limited bodies that we have sometimes.
Well, that's where I was going to go next. And, the way this league has kind of formed this year with the slow start for the most part for the conference in November and December,
Mm.
injuries, we've had three or four teams really get hit. You guys certainly one of them. It seems like everybody now getting healthy at the right time. You could be more than just dangerous when we start talking about February and when the tournament gets cranked up here in the Queen City in Charlotte in March.
Yes, that's what we're shooting for. We want to get, as many healthy bodies as we can. The boot gang, I call them, the guys that we had sitting out, you know, about three of the guys sitting out. They've come out of the boot. They're starting to pick up the pace a little bit on the training. So hopefully, we can get healthy bodies out here in the next week or two. That'd be huge. But that's all we're shooting for, to play our best basketball, for the rest of this month, and as we go into March, continue to do that, and continue to get healthy. Yeah, we feel like we're trending in the right direction.
Coach, as far as the future goes, I'm not just talking about here in the next month or so, the pieces that you're putting together, because it is a different universe now of college hoops. We talked about Hubert Davis, talking about how I need a GM, and it's just a whole different universe now. Can you now have, I know you got this vibe and saying, hey, listen, the way this team's playing now is kind of what the expectation was back in November and December when everybody just assumed you're going to be 100% healthy. But even moving past this year, the vision that you're selling about what Georgia Tech men's basketball is going to look like, what would you say to everyone?
Well, we want a team that's gonna be, you know, athletic, can shoot the ball, have a great feel, IQ. That's what I want. Interchangeable parts, um, physical, intense, be the tougher team, and that's the thing that I'm trying to create here. The biggest thing about this team as we moving forward, and I think people are seeing it, they've learned how to fight, and they're fighting for one another, and they're doing it for 40 minutes, and some look in some cases sometimes 55 minutes, but they're doing a good job of it. And so that's what I'm looking for. I like the guys that we got coming in 20 and 25. And as we move forward, obviously we're gonna have to mix in some portal guys to go with that. You gotta have some experience to go with the youth. But I'm just looking forward to the future. Uh with high character guys that know what they're doing on the floor.
How about the way you guys pounded the glass last night? I mean, that was the thing that was so impressive. I mean, and I know you love the defensive stops, and George is
Mm,
making great
mm,
plays in the leadership role. But
mm.
man, you guys owned the glass and owned the paint last night against a good team.
Yeah, we did. It was great to see. I thought that our intensity on the offense, being the way we were going after that ball, Soiree and by, I think they had 13 or 14 offensive rebounds between them. Duncan had three or four. We did a really good job, and when Locken fouled out, I thought that hurt Clemson because they traditionally like playing with two bigs. Uh, but last night we were the ones that controlled the glass, and that was big, especially in that last overtime.
All right. By the way, just out of curiosity's sake, because I've made that trip from Clemson to Georgia Tech and vice versa a gazillion times in my life.
Right.
Game finally ends, triple overtime. You're absolutely euphoric because your guys played their tails off and won one like that.
Right.
I know you never sleep. I mean, you never sleep anyhow. But what was it like? What time did you get back to Atlanta, and what time did you finally get home and say, I'm going to try to squeeze an hour here or 30 minutes? Maybe you didn't sleep at all. I have no idea. You tell me.
Well, by the time we finally got back here to Atlanta and I got home and settled, it was probably close to 4 a.m., so you just kind of lay in the bed, the adrenaline's still flowing, but I got a little bit of rest, but I got up and got right to it.
Never ends. I know that. Listen, congratulations. Again, two big time wins. You guys are getting healthy, hopefully at the right time. And like I said, I don't think anybody's going to be excited to see Georgia Tech moving forward. But again,
No,
we appreciate you making time for us. And tell Mr. George that, and all your guys, really, I mean, that effort last night was really top notch. That was incredibly entertaining stuff.
no, I appreciate it. And, thanks for having me.
You got it, coach. Best of luck, man. Take
All
care.
right.
Be good.